Hello, it's me. I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been on our website, dropped me a message to help me improve the website, or bought a t-shirt from the website. It's incredibly special to have, grown so many of you that are actually interested and want to support it. So a huge, huge thank you for that. I have felt very special, especially with the Spotify Wrapped this week as well. That also made me feel special. So massive thank you from me. The focus of this week's episode is two sisters setting up a company together. It's still really early doors, but I love that they are doing this together. And I think that they talked about this and their journey in a really digestible way and not in a daunting way. Sometimes when I see people talking about how they set something up online, I find it like completely overwhelming. So they just had a really honest conversation with me, and I think hopefully it will inspire other people to do the same, and just find something that they're really passionate about and start to build something around it. I feel a little bit like the London train line where they're like, see it, say it, sort it. So find an issue, be passionate about it, and create something from it. So I really hope you enjoy this episode with Maddy and Bea. Welcome to your weekly reminder that only dead fish go with the flow. This week I am behind the scenes of the MadBees factory, aka Maddy and Bea Adamson's home sitting room. It's only taken us like an hour to set everything up, but
So much tech, isn't it?
there is so much tech involved. But welcome to the podcast and your living room. You guys are both really involved in triathlon and Ironmans specifically, and have set up MadBees, which is a female-focused triathlete clothing company.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Nailed it. So would you guys like to name and explain triathlon or Ironman?
Yeah, so triathlon is 3 sports: swim, bike, run, in that order. The saying is, why be good at one sport when you can be bad at 3? So I feel that's every triathlete really. So there's lots of different distances that you can do in triathlon, from sprint distance, which is like the shorter kind of ones, 700-meter swim, 20k bike, 5k run, all the way to a full distance Ironman, which people might have heard of as the big dog of triathlon. So yeah, we mostly do half Ironman distance, which is 1.9k swim, 90k bike, and then a half marathon. So that's what we've been focusing on mostly.
Because I didn't realize that there were like different distances. So I think when I see it online, I'm like, there's a world championship Ironman like every other weekend. Like, what's going on? But it's actually different
Different
distances.
distances, yeah.
And they're very different races, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, because you got the full Ironman and then a half, and then the Olympic distance is pretty kind of half again, so quarter of an Ironman.
Yeah, they
and
kind of
sprint.
roughly double each distance. Each distance
So is
doubles
the-
the previous one.
Is the Olympic Ironman like the least distance?
It's quarter of an Ironman, kind of, roughly.
Olympic distance, which is probably the most well known because it's in the Olympics, is 1,500-meter swim, 40k bike, and then a 10k run.
Okay. And what are the other ones?
So half Ironman, 1.9k swim, 90k bike, half marathon, so 21k run, and then a full Ironman is double that, so 3.8k swim, 180k bike, and then a marathon just to top it off.
So what we're saying is the Olympic distance it's not the big dog distance.
It's not the big dog
It's
distance.
almost not a proper Ironman.
Yeah.
Much more interesting to watch, though, because a full Ironman is sort of 10, 11 hours of spectating, which is quite boring. The Olympic is much more of a race, I'd say.
You've got
Fast, jam-packed.
properly commit to the day if you're going to go and watch a full Ironman.
Yeah.
That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner all for the spectators.
It's not a great spectator sport, really.
So the distances just off the bat are very off-putting for me because I quite like, something that can be short. Like I do like a middle distance burn. Like I'm not a fast starter or a fast finisher. But how did you guys get into triathlon?
Good question. So we grew up doing pentathlon and tetrathlon to a national level, which is pentathlon's much more well known because it's in the Olympics. So pentathlon is 5 sports. You've got fencing, swimming, horse riding, running and shooting. And then tetrathlon is the same thing, just without the fencing. So we've always had that sort of multi-sport angle. I like the kind of master of none approach. So just trying out loads and being kind of good at everything, but not amazing at one thing, which is also in itself quite a good thing, just being good at a lot. And then fast forward to Maddy going to uni. She joined her Exeter University Tri Club and kind of went from there and loved it.
Yeah, bought a bike, bought my first bike. It was probably just after COVID, like the first lockdown, joined the club. I think I watched the triathlon at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 and thought, that looks cool. I can swim, I can run. Let's buy a bike. Because everyone was buying bikes in COVID, it felt like. And then joined the club at uni and just fell in love with it. It was a really good community in the club there. Still got lots of friends from the Tri Club, which is really nice.
So you came back from uni and you're like, Bea, you have got to try this.
Yeah.
Bea's like, not sure about this.
And then
made you buy a bike.
honestly. And then we lived together for the last year. So that was like, Maddy was like making me train. We went to the swimming pool at 6 a.m. many a times in the middle of the winter, which was just horrible, but also really fun because
It's
we
nice
were,
to look back on.
it is. We were like living together, having just a wonderful time, just training basically. Maddy's schedule, obviously, telling me what to do. My personal coach.
Your personal coach.
Yeah.
Do you find you're more or less tempted to go if there's like a coffee on the way round?
Absolutely. Definitely. That's the reason I do it, is the cafe stop.
Yeah, on a bike. Yeah, I love that as well. I love a good coffee and cake halfway around.
I feel like that is the gateway to getting into triathlon or Ironman is, we'll just do a little bike ride to this coffee shop, and then suddenly we'll be like, this coffee shop's only 30 kilometers away or 40 kilometers away or whatever it is.
Little
loop. Yeah.
It's also great for kind of trying to kind of convince your partner or your friends to come with you and say, I'll get you a sweet treat, I'll get you a coffee, just come, please join me on my ride.
Yeah.
So talk me through the layering situation when you're competing, because in my mind you'd like maybe have a swimsuit and then you'd have this and then you'd have another layer, and I think I've seen people transitioning from the water section to the bike ride, and sometimes there's layers coming off and sometimes there aren't, but there's definitely shoes and stuff going on. So talk me through that.
Typically you wear a tri-suit, which is an all-in-one. You wear it for the whole thing, so swim, bike, run.
In that order.
In that order, yeah. So you wear your tri-suit with a sports bra underneath and your heart rate monitor if you want to wear it.
Mads definitely will. She loves her stats nugget.
You don't wear pants underneath, which some people might not know if you're not in the sport, because that's a recipe for disaster with chafing. So up to you if you want to wear it or not, but I wouldn't recommend.
Same with training, like when you're wearing your bib shorts, you just never wear it, which is maybe not so obvious if you haven't done it. But no pants.
I feel like when I started rowing, I was definitely a pants wearer under my uni, and then someone was like, why are you always wearing pants under your uni in the changing room, like an older female athlete, not just some random person being, why are you wearing pants? And I was getting like really bad bum blisters at the time and chafing, like you were saying, and they're like, you just, that extra bit of material is just not helping.
Yeah. Like with the tri-suits and the bib shorts, you've got the padding there to protect everything. So you don't want pants interfering with how that works.
But it's almost like a very brave moment when you stop wearing your pants underneath your like all in one or your tri-suit, and everyone, and you're like, do people know I've not got any pants on?
I promise it is normal and you get used to it.
Yeah.
You don't feel like overly naked all the time.
As long as you don't, translate it to your normal life. Forget to wear your pants.
Hey, I have been to many a training session and forgotten to pack the pants, and then I just have to go commando for the rest of the day.
Coming out of the pool and forgetting pants and the bra, and you're like, great.
Never mind, got to go to work now.
No one will know.
So I've got enough woolly jumpers on, especially in the winter. If you've got enough jumpers on, no one's going to be able to tell what's going on underneath. How does your training look for one of these Ironmans?
You'd sort of do maybe 15 hours a week for a full Ironman. Well, I'd try and do. People do way more or less, but I think 15 hours a week for a full, maybe 10 to 15 for a half on peak weeks. More just like specific sessions during the week, specific shorter sessions. So you might do a VO2 max session or something. And then long ride at the weekend, long run on Sunday.
So not a lot of no weights, just a lot of cardio, basically.
I should probably do more weight training, but
Strength and conditioning.
yeah, I just don't, and I do need to do it. Maybe over the winter I'll pick it up again.
It's more of like a must
Yeah.
to avoid injury instead
Yeah.
of, I don't know, wanting to go to the gym. It's kind of that injury prevention. Probably should do it more than we do, sort of thing.
It's like, if it's raining, I might go to the gym and do weights kind of vibe.
But yeah, most of the training I do is just swimming, just cycling, just running.
Okay, fab. Would you be happy to sort of talk us through what you find are the best and the worst parts of the sport?
Yes. So I would say that the best part.
Best part?
Not too bad.
That's staying.
The best part is the food, but then the worst part is also the food.
Okay.
Because it's great, you have to eat so much to properly fuel, and everyone loves food. It's brilliant. You can eat so much. But then the worst part is also the food, because it's 5 a.m. pre-race day and you're slamming bagels, and it's like the last thing you want to be doing.
Beetroot at 4 a.m.
Beetroot bagels at 4 a.m. and it's just, I haven't eaten a bagel since my race in June. It put me off for good. So the kind of having to eat and fuel the carbs, I struggled with that. But generally it's great because you can eat loads.
And bagels are very dry as well. To get down at 4 a.m. when you've just woken up and you've got like dry mouth from being asleep.
Exactly.
Yeah. For me, I think because I love like stats and gear and like delving into all the detail. So if anyone loves stats, then triathlon is the sport for you, because there's so much detail. You can go in like all the power numbers and the heart rate. So that's like one of my favourite things to do after my sessions.
And everyone else's
And everyone else's sessions, yeah. Stalking other people's, that's also quite fun.
Strava stats. Hope to see Maddy coming.
Yeah. And the worst is probably it's just not a very glamorous sport. But I think all sports, when you get really into it, probably aren't very glamorous. Like you end up with like sweaty hair, pool chlorine hair, like every day.
Going into work smelling of chlorine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like black toenails and blisters. That's always a fun part of it as well.
I feel like blisters are a very universal experience with people who do sport. It's like you can have them anywhere.
Yeah. Places you didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Chafing and all that.
So I've asked one of the swimmers that I've had on to do this before, but do you have like a hair wash routine to combat that, or not really?
Well, for me, I'll say mine and then you can say yours, because I feel like they're probably quite different.
Probably.
I think for me, it's like ignoring the hair washing, because I'm like, oh, tomorrow I'm just swimming, so like what's the point in washing my hair? Or like tomorrow I'm going on a 4-hour bike ride, I'm gonna get all sweaty, like what's the point in washing my hair?
And if you do have to see anyone, slick back.
Yeah, slick back. Gel gel's the
Best
lifesaver.
friend.
I think you probably take a different approach.
I think I just do less training than you. So I have to wash my hair less. Yeah, very, very different training regime.
I think I'm on Maddy's side, where it's like deny,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're like 2 weeks in and you don't need to use any sort of slick back product. You could just tie it back and it looks like you have. Do you have a sporting ick that you would be happy to share with the podcast?
We had a sort of brainstorm. I don't really like it when people have icks, and I'm going to say that's my ick. Maddy does have.
I do actually have an ick. Is just a couple of words that people use in Strava captions. So like plod is a horrid word, and poodle is also a horrid word.
Especially
Like,
when the
if you're,
heart
like-
rate is in zone 4, so you're pretty.
Oh
effed
yeah,
into a run.
afternoon, or like little poodle in the woods, and I'm like, look at your heart rate, and it's like 170. I'm like, well, that wasn't really a poodle, was it?
Maddy's like, you can't hide.
Yeah.
I will find
Can't hide
you.
from me.
Her Strava screen time is crazy. She will just scroll through far.
What is the highest Strava screen time you've seen?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked. Probably over an hour a day. I don't know, maybe 2
Hitting 10 hours a week, do you think?
on Strava.
Yeah.
No
Screen time? Oh my god.
Including like plotting routes, things like that.
Yeah.
I think it could be close.
Okay,
Not a
I've
long
not
time.
used...
It's definitely my most used app each day, I think.
I think that's healthy. It's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe it's not.
It is.
Maybe I need to just rein it in a bit.
If you just use it for fun and like maybe only look at your own progress, it's very fun and I think healthy. But I think you're right.
I don't know, I'm kind of here for Maddy having a 10-hour week of Strava.
Yeah.
A 10-hour.
She's so happy, just scrolling.
Yeah.
Live your best life. Don't let anyone what is it? Tie down, set you back,
Yeah,
control you.
exactly.
What was it? People, Bee's one was people having icks, so don't let the icks get in the way. Moving on, because this is like kind of the main part of the conversation today is your baby, if you like, your sisters, but your baby.
Yeah.
A bit weird way to phrase it, but you're dying on the hill today.
Yeah, so dying on the hill, easy peasy, getting more women into the sport, making it more accessible for kind of women and girls who don't know what it is or think that you need a crazy amount of gear to do it, and need to do crazy distances like we've talked about, which isn't necessarily the case.
Yeah, so I'll give you some stats. Globally, women only make up about 18% of the field at Ironman races, and I think it's actually even a bit lower in Europe because I think in America it's slightly higher. I think it's more like 10-15% in Europe for Ironman races, which obviously we need to change that.
What do you think are some of the factors that are like limiting people from starting in the first place?
So I would say probably the lack of gear and kit focused and made specifically for women. There's a huge amount of male kind of products on the market, and anything that's unisex would have been designed with a male in mind to a man's specification and then applied to a woman. You'd never have something designed for women and then made unisex. It kind of only goes one way. So that's sort of why we created our brand, MadBees, born in 2025, women's only sort of cycling female triathlon clothing. So that kind of came from this not having what we were after when we were doing our triathlons, trying to get a tri-suit, just couldn't find anything on the market. And when we flew out to Italy to a potential manufacturer, they were talking through their sample range and said a lot of brands take the male designs and just size them down for them to make women's kind of ranges. And we were like, okay, this is exactly what we don't want to do. This is exactly why we kind of built our brand and made it specifically women designed, women focused.
Especially important because when you're racing, like if you're doing a long distance triathlon, Ironman, you're racing for like could be over 12 hours, so you've got to be comfortable in what you're wearing. So like you're sweating, chafing, like you get uncomfortable, and you can be on an uncomfy bike saddle because most of the bike saddles, they're all made for men, and women typically have like wider hip, like pelvic bones than men. So when you're on a men's saddle and it's too narrow for your hip bones, all the weight pressure is in the wrong place and it's so uncomfy. So girls, if you're uncomfy on the saddle, it might be because your saddle's too narrow and you need to get a wider saddle to be much more comfy. Just little things like that is why the padding design as well for bib shorts needs to be completely different.
Talk me through the padding.
Yeah, well, kind of linking to the hip, your pelvic bones, because they're wider, you need like women specific wider padding. You're going to have pressure points in different places to men, so wearing men's padding is not going to be as comfy.
You'd have different padding for racing versus training. We can talk through the race process, but say you're in the water and then your tri-suit's wet, so then when you're on the bike you need a quick dry padding, but also something that's going to be comfortable and avoid the issues that Maddy's very glamorously
I was going to say, because when I'm thinking about it, we've got different things going on down there, and like we've actually got less padding, if you like, going on down there on a wider surface area. So it is going to obviously require different padding. The MadBees suits that you guys have designed, they are very cool colours. What have you changed from the unisex extra small to the MadBees female focused suit?
So going back to the design process, we obviously rejected the offer of take this male range and size it down. we designed the padding to be specifically for the female body, the fit of the suit, how it kind of feels when you're on a bike, how it feels when you're running, much more sort of designed for women, basically.
Is there space for boobs?
Yeah, space for boobs.
Space for boobs. Things like shorter torso and shorter limbs compared to men. So like the arm length and the leg length of the all-in-one being slightly shorter with the shorter torso in mind with some boob space. That's basically it.
And
really.
in nice colours.
Yeah.
I
You
think
can talk about
designs because we want to look good.
I remember ordering some cycling shorts off Amazon, and they just like rode up the whole time, and they weren't really meant for like, or they were too tight, and then you're like walking around with like your blood circulation being cut off, and there's not enough padding, or with the rowing, we would, if we got injured, we'd spend like hours and hours and hours on the bike. Not as long as you guys, but we felt like it was hours. And there is nothing worse than sitting on a bike with not enough padding. In a desperate attempt, some of us like would buy sponges, and we'd like sit on the saddle in our padded shorts on a sponge. So it is really, really, really key. So you guys obviously are sisters, if we haven't said earlier on in the podcast. You are now managing a clothing brand together. How is that going? How are you finding that?
It works really well. Luckily we get on very well. We also have very different but quite complementary skills. So I'll do more of the sort of design in terms of aesthetics and the marketing and social media, the website, things like that, and the colours. Whereas Maddy's got that technical triathlon knowledge. So where you need like your zippers and your gel pouches and your fluorescent tags and things like that and zips, as well as all the kind of businessy side of
business
it.
admin I seem to do.
Customs, trying to battle with customs there.
Yeah, HMRC, all that.
So, which is all the stuff I'd find boring, but then the stuff that I do, Maddy's like
incompetent, I think is a good word.
I was going to say different skills, but it just works really well.
Well, before we had sort of established roles towards the start, I think when we were doing some social media, I made a reel. I tried to make a reel because I felt bad that you were doing it all, and then I was so proud of it, and I just showed you, and you were like, no, I don't think that's gonna go. That's not on brand. That's just rubbish, basically.
Another good thing of working with your sister is you can just say it how it is. There's no passiveness. You can just say no, man.
No.
And you can do the same to me. So it just works.
I really love that it's a sister company, and that's like female focus set up by sisters, and also like it's got a bit of each of you in it, in terms of like Maddy's obviously got the technical side of the Ironman. You're like, I want it to look nice, I want it to be like this. And the name of the company is actually, I'll let you guys explain, but
it was pretty hard to come up with.
Yeah.
Maddy's called Maddy, obviously, and I'm Bea. So
MadBees was
Mad
born.
a lot of brainstorming that one, but yeah, it's quite nice because obviously, as you said, it's got a bit of both of us. So. And Maddy being the older sister, it couldn't be Bea Mad. So
well, it couldn't really be Bea Mad anyway. But
Maddy had to come first. So MadBees it is.
Bea designed the logo and all that. Yeah, obviously with your creativity skills, which I don't have.
So what I'm picturing is Bea making Maddy like run back and forth in all the different kit, and she's like, again, but you need to look more engaged with what you're doing, or like you need to dive in better, or you need to cycle faster, or whatever it is.
You've got it. That's the pitch.
Yeah. Oh, don't look so grumpy. Like, come on. And I'm like, well, this is the fifth time we've recorded it. You know?
I think about whether or not me and my sister would like ever set something up together, and I think we probably will at some point. I have no idea what it would be, but I can be very stubborn and quite quiet sometimes, not always, and she can be very like opinionated and fiery. I'll like walk slowly to my grave, and she'll like blow up and burn. And it's a very contrasting thing, so I think it is sort of quite entertaining that it's you two like trying to work it out between you.
I think there's a good sweet spot of being different enough, but being able to sort of
Still get on
still get
really
on.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you guys say is like the best or your favourite moment so far in this journey?
I think definitely racing in my own suit. So I raced most recently in Marbella in Spain at the Ironman 70.3 World Champs. It was only a few weeks ago, so raced there in my pink tri-suit. And I think my favourite moment was getting compliments from strangers or people asking me about the suit or like, where did you get your, like, I was running along and someone in the crowd was like, I love your suit. And like, oh, I love the pink, you know. So I think that's probably my favourite moment so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Racing in our own suit, it's quite a special feeling. It's nice.
Yeah, that is because so from the idea starting to the actual product arriving and then racing in it, what was the time frame for that?
We started design in February of 2025, so this year, and by May, was it May?
Yeah,
We
May.
had our samples, so nothing was released. We had our first round of samples and we raced in them at a very local triathlon. I think it was a sprint, less than a sprint distance. So it was mainly just to test that the going in the water, the bike, the run, that they were exactly how we wanted. Made a few tweaks and then did our kind of big order. And launched in September officially, which was a little later than we would have liked to, because obviously the season for triathlon is really the summer. But hey, it's never better late than never.
Come back with a bang for the 2026 season on our launch.
I've ordered like various different bits for the podcast recently, and having those things arrive to the house and like seeing for them for the first time that it's something that you've made and it's your baby, it
it's
is
so
really
exciting.
really exciting. And then racing in it and getting compliments and stuff.
Especially I think they're quite different to other suits on the market, so they stand out in a good way quite a lot. So we had a lot of kind of women of all ages just being like, wow, that's so like, glamorous. We got
that
someone saying,
local triathlon we did, they
oh, glamorous girls, you look lovely. So that was really nice. But yeah, you've got some pretty cool t-shirts and branded stickers and things. So
yeah.
I know the feeling.
They're slowly making their way out into the world, trying to make sure I get all of that right. Matt keeps being like, oh, let's talk about it on the podcast. I'm like, no. I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
That's the thing, when it's your own baby, your own brand, you want it all to be perfect before you just wait until it's ready and then launch it. It will never feel ready. You just gotta go for it.
We did have like a couple of delays with customs and some problems with the labels, which was holding it up, which was just it was so stressful because the box of I think it was our final order was just sort of sat in customs in somewhere in Essex where it came in, and it was just sat there for days, and we were like, oh, come on, it's so close now. It's all come all the way from Italy, which is where we get it manufactured.
And when our samples arrived, remember we picked them up, we were living together at the time, we moved in together straight after uni. We collected them from the post office and tried them all on, and we were just dancing around our flats just wearing this new, just so exciting things that we designed and had come to life.
That is so special. Do you have sorry to bring you back down, but do you have a best fuck up on this journey?
Oh, brand specific. Probably the labeling issues that we had.
Yeah, we had issues with, wasn't really our fault though, but maybe a bit of communication issue with our manufacturer, but our labels basically got stuck in with the manufacturer, and then our products got shipped to the UK and the labels were still in Italy. So we had to send the products all the way back to get the labels all redone. Luckily, the manufacturer was very nice and sorted that all out for us, but that was probably the worst moment in terms of, that was quite stressful when we were about to launch and people had pre-ordered a few things, so there was a bit of a delay there.
But it was all fine in the end.
It was.
Spoiler alert.
Shout out to UPS who got it back to Italy in like a day.
Just thinking about the products being stuck in Essex, and like both of you like on your phones like, well, it's only going to take X amount of hours to get to Essex. If we just go and get it now,
let's just go.
That's the most annoying thing about posters. You can see where it is and you're like, it'll just be quicker if I go and get it, but they won't release it to you.
Never learnt so much about how customs works now.
Have you guys had any sort of like judgments or pushbacks at all with it all?
I'd say the main thing is people knowing or finding out that we're sisters, because that's, as you just touched on, it's quite something to be able to work with your sibling. And a lot of people are like, I could never work with my brother or never work with my sister. So they're always quite shocked and surprised. Kind of, how do you get on? How does it work? So I'd say that's the main kind of comment we get.
I feel like most, not really from anyone else, but maybe just more self-doubt on like building a brand is quite scary. Like we've chucked a lot of money at it, we've chucked a lot of time at it, because we both work full time as well, and trying to do our training, like it just takes up a lot of time. So maybe just self-doubt about, is it actually going to work? Is it going to go, like, are people going to like the idea? Are people going to like what we're producing? Are we going to make any money? I think that's the main thing, is questioning it ourselves. But I don't know, we've had a couple of viral TikToks, and like that's been like a really like fun kind of like, I guess, validating, because like validating that there's a demand for it, because we've had some nice comments from random people.
Nice comments on TikTok and Instagram videos is always very reassuring that we're
Yeah,
doing the right
reassuring.
thing. It will be interesting to see the kind of run up to the season next spring, sort of how we get on.
Do you guys have any advice if there are any other sisters listening and they're like, I think I'm gonna do, I don't know, I was going to say like sporting knickers or something, like a random one. Have you got any advice for other young women who are sort of starting a business or starting an idea?
It definitely helps to have a common interest. Maddie's a little bit more into triathlon than I am, but it does help that we're both really into it and both love it. And again, the kind of different but complementary skills, being able to bring different ideas to the table and do different things, so you're not kind of on top of each other saying, you're doing that, that's not how I'd do that. It's actually just do the separate jobs and do it how you'd both each do it to work together.
And I think defining what jobs you're each going to do, so there's no arguments about like, sometimes I'd do something and then you might get, or either way around, the other one would get annoyed that they haven't quite done it the right way, or like, no, I was going to do that, like that's not your job, you shouldn't have done that, kind of thing.
Stay in your lane.
So yeah,
it's like one lane, just split.
Yeah.
We're both just doing our thing together.
And then I think also, if you both really want to do it, you need to not be petty about how much time, because like we'll each have different moments of time when we're more free than the other one. So like I might put in some more hours one day, and then you might do more hours another day. So I think you've got to just both believe that you love it and you want to invest time into it, and don't be petty about, oh, you've put in this many hours and you're not doing anything today.
Yeah, there was a lot of that at the start.
Yeah.
Now it's all coming out.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of setting out what we do, but at the beginning it was very much like, we need to do this by the end of the week. Like, you're not, like, come on, focus, get off Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't go for a run now. This is a priority. So it was just finding that balance and realizing we're both just putting our all into it and need to just trust that.
But if you've got an idea and you think that it's got legs, then you just have to sort of dive in, don't you, and hope for the best and not be afraid to make mistakes along the way.
Exactly, we're all learning.
On the best fuck up, Maddy, you have a specific one.
Triathlon related.
Related.
I definitely do. So my first ever half Ironman, 70.3, was in Stafford. It was 2 years ago, I think. I was really still very new into it all, so I didn't really know what to do. Like, I'd only done maybe one sprint triathlon before it. And I had these avocado socks that I was obsessed with around the time.
Embroidered avocado.
Yeah, they weren't sporting socks at all. And because I had a uni tri-suit and it was green, so it all matched. So I was wearing my green uni tri-suit. I wanted to wear my green avocado socks.
Very cool.
So wore them for 3 hours of cycling and the half marathon. And by the end of it, my toes had basically like poked holes through the end of the socks. I had black toenails, I had blisters everywhere. It was the most painful run of my life. So yeah, I recommend not wearing fashion socks for a 5-6 hour race because it will kill your feet will be dead after after.
Or like make sure they're semi-sporty
Yeah,
fashion
get some proper
socks.
sports socks if you want your feet to still be functioning after the race.
I feel like socks are such an underrated like part of actually enjoying your sport.
Yeah.
I always used to have like sports socks and then socks I'd wear that never matched and there were like holes in them and I just wear them out and about
Yeah.
just on day-to-day life. But I had like specific sports socks because I knew if I had my shitty socks, it was going to be a bad session.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. So yeah, I wear my sports socks from now on, from then on.
Maybe 2026 we need to release some MadBees socks.
Yeah, to
With-
research how they differ from men's feet.
I was going to say avocados at the top, but like not embroidered, maybe like
Yeah.
printed on.
Just a little hint to
Yeah.
never again.
Do you guys have anything that springs to mind that you would change about the sport or sport in general to make it better?
Definitely just to make it more accessible to women. I think social media, there's this kind of idea that you need so much kit and so all the newest this and the latest that. But I think just get the basics, see if before you know if you love it as well. But give it a go. It's not a I mean it is a male dominated sport, but we need to change that. So just give it a go. It's so much fun. So yeah, getting the ratio that more balanced.
Yeah, you could just rock up to a sprint triathlon, like your local one, on a old bike that you've got in the garage. Like people do, so you wouldn't stand out. I think just give it a go on anything you've got.
I don't know enough about triathlon, but are there like clubs and stuff that are easily accessible to people?
Definitely. So if you're at uni, you could, like most unis would probably have a triathlon club, which is how I basically got into it really, is my uni tri club. And then local tri clubs definitely join because people are so friendly. Mostly people are really friendly. Like people will lend you gear. Like someone might give you a wetsuit if you want to go and do an open water swim if you don't have one. Really friendly, really helpful. You could just speak to anyone. Like, if you're a triathlete, you love talking about triathlon. So if you ask anyone about it, they'll be keen to talk to you, I'm sure.
You're like, who wants to talk about Strava?
Definitely join a club if you can, if you've got a load. It's much more fun as well, training in a group.
Training in
Yeah.
a team is
Yeah.
always a win. Do you guys have a MadBees mantra or a saying that you guys always go back to?
I really like everything's a win if the goal is experience. So just enjoying the day to day, trying out new things, seeing what works, and just having a good time, really. Because if you're training for an Ironman and the Ironman is the goal and you're really racing towards that, the bit in between the racing and in between the race and now, the training is going to just be so grueling and you'll just hate it. So just enjoy the journey. And as Maddy says, join a club because then you have people to train with. It just makes it so much more fun, so much more. You can talk about it so much more, which is great. And you just have those people with a common interest.
I guess it is kind of a MadBees mantra.
Yeah.
Is feel good. No, feel good. No, look good, be fast. I don't know.
Feel good, feel fast.
But no, the thing is, I don't like that because you don't feel fast. You are fast.
We always used to say, look good, race,
feel good.
look good, race good.
You know, if you've got an outfit on that you're comfortable in,
And you
confident
feel great,
in,
yeah.
that you feel good and you love, then it's gonna translate into how you race and how you feel on the day.
Not to mention the compliments.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Just to
Really
boost the
boost you
ego.
up.
We would always say, look good, race good, but we'd obviously wear the same kit every time, so we're representing a club. I would always do like a little bit of race day makeup or like Alona Ma, the women's rugby player, she's always got her red lipstick on when she goes on the rugby pitch. It's just like an extra bit of preparation before you go to do something, which
Yeah.
is sometimes really nice and makes you feel you're like that extra bit ready.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, but in the lead up to an event, we would do like quite a lot of tapering. And it would make me feel like, oh, but I'm not doing enough to like be ready. So I think my solution would have been like doing my washing, but also doing my makeup before I go rowing or before I go racing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that kind of the space for femininity in the sport. Just being nothing, being girly is great. If that's how you get race ready, and that's what you need to feel your best, then absolutely
Embrace
do
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, not like Sky Sports Halo. Have
No,
you guys seen
I
that?
saw that.
What's
It was
that?
awful. It was this Sky Sports released. Was it a TikTok account or something?
Yeah, it was a TikTok channel.
Called Halo, and it was meant to be all about promoting women's sports, and they just did it completely the wrong way. Like made it like pink glittery, kind of like, I don't know, I've got my matcha,
Oh,
and I
no.
don't know, they didn't do it well.
It was-
that's the
You might know
wrong-
more about it than me. but-
Yeah, it was like, well, to start with, they labelled it like Sky Sports' little sister.
yeah,
And then it was, instead of like using so many of basically like all the female sporting achievements that have happened like literally over the summer, the women's rugby, the women's football, like tennis, I'm going to say rowing, but there's so many like female performances that have been incredible over the summer, and they were still using, like as you said, pink glittery text, but they were even using like footage of a guy scoring a goal
yeah,
and then being like, this is how a hot girl and matcha walk
Yeah.
hit, sort of thing. You're not even in the right postcode. Like,
That is absolutely not the message we want
No.
to spread.
The idea was there with a women's sports page, but it wasn't executed
Probably-
how it should have been.
what I found really funny, though, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a spoof account has been made, and it's called Holla, or like Holla. Their caption in their bio is like Halo's stepfather, and it's all like these terrible memes, and it's like when your nan slips you that tenner, and then it's like the same videos that
Yeah.
Halo was using, and
Yeah.
they're just so funny. Slightly off topic, but
Yeah.
just very, very
But
funny.
they've deleted it now, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Halo's been taken down, and
Yeah.
an apology's been issued. I think it lasted 3 days.
Yeah. Not surprised.
I think my final question for you guys is, do you have a soundtrack for the week?
We do. So all this about us getting on really well. We have very different music tastes.
Yeah.
So this took a bit of thinking. We did agree on some Sophie Ellis Bextor though. We went for, do you want to say?
Groove Jet. If they say love.
Very good song.
Yeah, I love
Gets
a
you
bit
in
of
the
Sophie.
training mood. Yeah, anything. Always a mood booster.
I've been spending a lot of time on the M4 recently to go and see Matt, who's staying in Reading, and I'm staying in Gloucestershire at the moment. We're married, but we're separated. And a lot of the time when I'm driving back, it's either Michelle Visage's Handbag Hits, or it's Sophie Alice Bextor's Alice Bextor's Alice Bextor. I'm not saying it right at all. There's Michelle Visage's Handbag Hits, and then it's Sophie Ellis Bextor's like dance floor disco, or Bee's looking it up for me now while I butcher the surname even further.
Kitchen Disco.
Kitchen Disco. And those two, I think it's like BBC Radio 2, showing my age maybe, but those two driving down the M4, they're like back-to-back sessions. Really good.
Make that 40 miles go by and
Exactly. That 90-minute drive just whistles past. Well, that is all of my questions for the podcast. So thank you both so much for coming on. Can people find MadBees online?
Yeah, so we're on our website is just MadBees. Instagram's also MadBees UK, same as TikTok. And then we've also got a Strava group chat. So if you want to be part of this sort of community of women who love triathlon, do join. We'd love to have you.
MadBees on Strava.
Fantastic.
Mention TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, get the TikTok in. The TikTok's doing really well. Get it in.
But thank you so much for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you very much.
Great
You are
chat.
both very welcome. Thank you for letting me into your home and let me spend an hour setting up the podcast with all the different
Wi-Fi
things.
out in the countryside. It's
Yeah.
pretty rubbish, but
Oh,
We got there in the end.
we did. We got there in the end. Thank you for listening to this episode with Maddy and Bea. If you enjoyed it, please pass it on to someone else so they can enjoy it too. And it would be amazing if you could leave a comment, follow the show, or leave it a rating. You can find us on Instagram, Only Dead Fish Podcast. You can find us on our website, which is linked on our bio in Spotify and Apple, and it is also linked in our Instagram account. Thank you again for listening, and speak to you next week. Bye bye.